Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the next 2 hours, we are going to be opening up the vidIQ floor to you because it is, of course, time for channel audits. Let's do this.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to vidIQ, the YouTube tool, the YouTube channel, and YouTube Learning Academy that educates you on your YouTube journey. And as I just mentioned, what we do every single Tuesday at this time during the week is we offer up our wisdom, our experience, our expertise, and show you what we think you could do better with your YouTube channels. As always, I could not do this without a gaggle of co-hosts. And of course, we're going to welcome as first our gaming expert extraordinaire, Dan, in the house. Hello, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I want to let you know that I'm officially endorsing any and all YouTube shorts from here on out.
Oh, wow. That's an official endorsement there.
Yep.
Nothing to do with American politics, but endorsing YouTube shorts there. Thank you very much, Dan. We'll probably talk about that at some point during this live stream. And welcoming... No, hang on. Oh, I've just got it here that... I've got the information here that tells me that Travis has been doing audits for the last 100 weeks and he demanded a week off. So we've granted it him. He's actually taking a week off this week. So instead, filling in more than capably, and he also did so on Friday, everybody welcome to the vidIQ live streams, Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
How's it going, man? Glad
Awesome.
to be here.
Brilliant. Welcome, Jeff. I'm sure you're going to be looking forward to auditing 1,000 gaming channels as the non-gaming expert. And finally, we just want to say a quick hello to Dan H, otherwise known as Jeff these days. Dan, Jeff, I don't know if you just want to say a quick hello, and I'm sure we'll hear more from you.
Everybody.
All right, that was Dan. Is his camera working? It doesn't look to me, but anyway, hello, Dan. I'm sure you'll hear from him later on. Dan H, that is. Now, the question I wanted to ask all of you as you say hello here during the live stream is, what is your favourite breakfast meal? And if you tell us what it is, we'll shout you out. Now, we just talked... During off air, I said, what's your favourite breakfast tipple? And nobody had a clue what I was talking about. So if you know what tipple means as well, give me a thumbs up in the live chat. And while I'm fixing the live chat that is currently broken on the live stream, Dan, do you want to start saying hello to people? This is Dan C. Blimey, I've got to remember to do that. Please tell us who you're saying hello to and what their favourite breakfast meals are.
Okay. Eek Plays said cheese.
Cheese? Well, all right. Cheese. All right.
Okay. A lot of people are saying pancakes. So I'm trying to find some bacon. You can't just have cheese or bacon for breakfast. Breakfast needs to be a complete meal. It has to be eggs and bacon.
Dan's dishing out breakfast advice.
Or eggs and cheese. And pancakes have a lot of carbs, so I'm not going to eat cake for breakfast. So anyone who says pancakes is getting ignored.
Wow.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good, but it's basically just sugar in a bowl. Taco Bell breakfast burrito. That's okay. That's probably the most unique answer I've seen so far. A cheese omelet. See, that's how you do it. You combine the cheese and the eggs. That works too. I'm not even reading names. I'm just like I'm fascinated.
You are so ingratiating yourself with the community here. I'm going to move on to Jeff. Jeff, who's having breakfast and what are their names, please?
Let's see here. So who are they doing right now? What do we got? Full English going on from Bladersby. Good Lord. Steak only.
Woof.
Nifty Gaming doing breakfast pizza. I like your style, my friend.
Oh my God. It has to be warm pizza, by the way. Does anyone have pizza cold? Ugh. Disgusting.
I don't mind it either way, man. I don't mind it either way. Let's see who else we got. Nifty Gaming. So we already called him out already. Avocado sandwich from Unicorn Queen. I like that. Love me some good avocado toast. I'll tell you that much right now. All
right, then I've got to read this one out from AJ Domino's. He is a serial killer. Nice work there. Nice work. Unicorn Queen likes an avocado sandwich. Rambo Green Hands, great channel name there, wants some fruit for breakfast. The Trentinator just wants food. Whatever it is, just serve it up in front of him and he will eat it. And Plondu here with biscuits and gravy, Dan. What do you reckon about that for breakfast?
that biscuits and the gravy and biscuits and gravy is made of flour. I mean, I can't have that many carbs. I'll just fall right to sleep.
And last one, Ads Gaming 231 with the McDonald's breakfast there. Yes, I hope you don't have breakfast for lunch and tea as well, like that guy once did for 30 days. Right, let's get back into what we're actually trying to do this week, and that is audit your channels. If you are a regular to the vidIQ live stream, then you want to start making your tweets now, as you may feature in Memes of the Week either next week or have your channel audited. For those of you who are brand new, and while we're doing this intro about the live stream, let us know if you are a hashtag original gangster, hashtag somewhat experienced, or hashtag brand new to the YouTube vidIQ live stream. This is how we audit your channels every single week. vidIQ channel audits are all about helping you become better YouTubers. To submit your channel for possible review, in the video description of this live stream, there is a link that will take you to this simple form. Fill it out, and prior to the stream, we will pick out several channels for review. Channel audits are free. We offer them as part of the vidIQ YouTube service, and we can't be bribed. While super chats are always welcome, they will not buy you a channel audit. We do not want to create a financial barrier to this weekly community get together. The live chat exists so that you can all converse with the community. Don't ask for channel audits. During a live stream, the hosts don't have time to read them, and moderators will put you in timeout. And speaking of moderators, I wanted to personally thank each and every one of you for supporting us every single week to make sure that this show gets up and running. It really is appreciated. We get hundreds of submissions every single week, and unfortunately we can't audit every channel. To ensure your channel has a fair chance each week, we purge the list, and after we audit pre-selected channels, we randomly choose which channels get audited. We only have so much time in a day to audit your channels, but if you download the vidIQ extension, our 24/7 channel audit tool will offer you tailored advice specific to your YouTube channel. If you haven't already done so, download vidIQ for free today. A link is in the video description. If you submit your channel, expect constructive criticism. We assume you want to grow your audience on YouTube, and that is what our advice is based on. Appreciate that we are viewing your channel for the first time. If we get something wrong, we didn't do it on purpose. It may be that your messaging and branding isn't doing the job it's supposed to do. And make sure to listen to the advice we give to all channels, not just yours. Test everything. Some strategies will work better for some channels, whilst it won't work for some channels at all. Always review the data YouTube gives you and then test again. Thumbnails are a topic that come up time and time again, so to help you with that, we've put together both a playlist on our channel and a dedicated vidIQ Academy course. Links to both are in the video description of this live stream. We always appreciate it when you click on the thumbs up button. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you know when we next go live. And do us a favour, folks, if you do find this live stream useful, share it with at least one other video creator who you think could benefit from our advice. Are you ready? Let's do this. And the final pieces of housekeeping are as follows. If you give us a super chat right now, as we have been for several months, we are supporting the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. So thank you already to somebody who donated $20, but it's not on my contribution list. Why has it disappeared? Here we are. TVT Epic Gamer donated $20. So really appreciated. Just to remind you, that doesn't guarantee you a channel audit, but all super chat donations go completely to charity. And finally, we're seeing that there's a lot of new people joining this week, which is fantastic. We just want to remind you and everybody else, even if you don't get your channel audited, and that can be tough because we have so many submissions every single week, please do watch all of the channel audits, because a lot of the things that we'll talk about for channel A or channel B or channel C will directly relate to the same things that you are doing on your channel. Don't just think that your channel is a special case and you're only going to be able to get help if we talk specifically about your content, because so many of the things that we talk about, that it is shared knowledge and it can be spread across many different creators. With all that being said, Dan, you're nodding your head. I like it when you do that. It means I'm doing a good job. Dan and not Travis, Jeff, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right then, we're going to switch to it and we're going to start auditing some channels. So just to remind everybody, we get two submission forms. one for non-gaming channels and one for gaming channels. So this is what they currently look like. They're in a video description if you want to start filling it out for when we start to pick channels randomly. But what we do every single week is we pick the first channel in each of these lists to audit. And the first channel we are auditing is King New, who has 1,820 subscribers. And I think I'm going to throw Jeff in at the deep end here. Jeff, I want you to take a look at this channel and give me your initial thoughts on what this creator is up to on YouTube.
So, I mean, just looking at his channel, just at the surface level, I would have liked to see something a bit stronger as far as his channel banner is concerned.
Yeah.
We already see his name right here. So his name is already here. So up here, I would have loved to see a value proposition. What is your channel about? What is it? What's going on here? I'm not sure if this is a reaction channel or commentary or skits. So I'm kind of not sure exactly what is going on here. A little confusing. So I'd love that branding to be a bit stronger.
Yep.
See, seems to have a pretty decent grasp on the thumbnails and stuff like that as well. So overall, I like it. I wish he would kind of stick to one color though, because it's constantly changing. I like that he's sticking to the same font. He's sticking to the same type of color for his lettering, but we have red backgrounds, we have blue backgrounds, we have pink backgrounds, we have purple backgrounds. I'd like to see a little consistency here.
So there looks to be consistency, like you say, in maybe the layout of a thumbnail. There's like a reaction from the hero of the channel. They're using the same single bit of font line at the bottom. Sometimes it's cut off by the timestamp a little bit. But you're thinking maybe the colors interrupting the consistency, maybe
a bit.
Yeah.
Especially if his videos get suggested, they all look a little different,
right,
even though it's him in the picture. So yeah.
Do you have any ideas yet what you think the channel is about? Given that the channel banner didn't really give us that much. I agree with you. I mean, this almost looks like a gaming channel just from the font there.
Yeah.
But very quickly looking at the thumbnails, we don't get that impression. But what do you think this channel is mainly about for, I guess, a new visitor visiting the channel for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking the same thing, that it's going to be just, I would probably have to guess reaction, but that's me just taking a really wild stab at it, because it doesn't tell me in any form or way. It
does have that in the titles, I think. Like that's kind of one of their common keyword threads used through each of these titles.
Yeah, through some of them, the ones that aren't truncated. Yeah,
that's true. And then I'm getting a bit of a music vibe. I think this channel is reacting to music videos of different types and styles. I don't know if my music knowledge is absent completely. I mean, I listen to film tracks. That's the extent of my musical taste. So I don't know whether there's any reaction to Dennis Rodman. I mean, he's a basketball player as far as I'm aware of. And Coke Land featuring Timberland. These are all just brand names that seem to be plastered on titles, so I'm getting completely lost from that aspect. I'm just wondering if there's any crossover in the genres, or sometimes he's reacting to content that his subscribers are familiar with, and then sometimes he isn't, which is leading to these spiky view counts. Like you get one here with 50 views, another with 400 views. What's the subscriber count? 2,000. And then there's one here with 17 views. I just wonder if there is something that's not... There's something of a disconnect in the topic for the creator, maybe.
It's possible too. And one of the things with reaction channels is that one of the things that they can do is use, channel audit in order to double down on content that's working. So if they have a particular artist that they're, reacting to that's getting them a ton of views, why not react to more of their music, assuming that they have a wider catalog? That's something that you could definitely lean into, because why not?
There's a good example here, actually. Sorted by most popular, and there's 2 Blink 182 videos as your most popular. So you are right sometimes, Jeff, in that maybe you want to begin with maybe target trending music, but then if there's a certain artist or song that connects really well with your audience, you can go into obviously their back catalogue and maybe an album, and then try and react more to the stuff that's going on there.
Absolutely.
And we also see some thumbnail evolution there as well. Can we get back to it? yeah, so these were the most popular ones. No, hang on. Let's just do that again. Right, so I'm going to click on video. I'm going to sort by most popular. So these were from a year or two ago and quite different thumbnails to what they are now. Any preferences there? I mean, do you think these look a little more chaotic to me as compared to these, where there is a lot more structure?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems I honestly prefer his newer style of thumbnail over the old ones because they were more chaotic. I just would like to see a little bit stronger on the consistency side of it. But aside from that, I mean, there's plenty, there's a lot of meat on the bone here as far as tightening up the branding, tightening up the thumbnails, and then obviously leaning into because I'm not sure how he's choosing the structure of his content, which video ideas and stuff, but trending. I mean, YouTube makes it very simple. They have trending, you have music tab in trending, so you can really see where you should be aiming your content as far as a reaction channel is concerned.
I'm going to risk that now. I'm just going to click on trending. And let's see. Yeah, you're right. So we could just do this, and then boom, anything that he thinks is relevant to his audience, he can react to that pretty much instantly. And this creator's chucking out a lot of content as well. Like, whew.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think there's maybe an argument for too much content in there? Can I? And I've actually made a video about this. It's coming out soon. It's like, how often should you upload? And sometimes you can upload too much for a particular audience because they can't necessarily stomach 3 music reaction videos from one creator in a single day. Sometimes it's better to stagger it like every two or three a week or something. So let's have a look. So he's done 3 in the last 24 hours, and then 12, 11, 13 in the last week. Seems maybe a little excessive there.
I think that's a kind of a thing with reaction channels, though. It's always been very easy for them to turn out a lot of content, and I feel like that's part of the growth strategy with these channels. But I would argue in this case that the views are not quite there for this many videos in a day.
Maybe check the audience view duration and just see if people are dropping off instantly, because there's not enough quality in the reactions. That might be something to look at as well. Anyway, hello Dan, welcome. Hi there. So let's move on to the first gaming channel that's submitted this week, and you can get your teeth into this one, Dan, which is Batsy. He's memes and gaming.
Okay.
Let's have a look at what this channel with 600 subscribers has to offer its audience.
Well, so the banner tells us that you're what we want to know, except it's going to get cut off.
It is, yeah.
It's a bit big.
I'm going to draw off the cut-off points. Probably about there and there. So on a mobile, you're going to be called Sis with Mem and Gam.
Yep.
Something to consider.
So that's something you just want to keep in mind when you're making your channel banner. There are guides out there that you can throw into Photoshop so you can line it up properly. And then it looks like you're throwing a lot of darts here, and some of them are sticking and some of them not so much. Like the one on the far right there, I really want to touch a payphone original meme. Now,
the way you said that just made me laugh at that.
Yeah, just read it dry. Take all the emotion out of it. I think the problem here, just on the surface for me, is that we're looking at Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 are similar in that they're Rockstar games and they're open world and all that stuff. That seems fair. If you're going to be a gaming reaction channel, I think you should stick to reacting to gaming content. Because when you react to Amazon Echoes and you make memes about phone booths on a channel that I've subscribed to for funny memes about Grand Theft Auto, I'm going to be just kind of waiting on the edge of my seat. Well, what you made a really funny like Red Dead Redemption 2 thing. Are you doing more of that? Because that's what I subscribe for.
It definitely is memes and gaming rather than gaming memes,
right?
Which might be a better tie-in for
I see
your
the
audience.
now. I missed that.
And we got a lot of people with scary red eyes that I'm noticing there. And yeah, so like if we look at the last 2 months worth of content, it's like random memes with a bit of Amazon Echo in there as well. And then all of a sudden, a week ago, it's like, Among Us is suddenly trending as a video game. So I'm going to have a crack at this and see what happens. And Yeah, I would also say that the posting consistency is a little inconsistent as well. It feels like sometimes every 2 weeks, is it maybe? Which is a light posting schedule for a channel of your size. I think this is very much bite-sized consumable content that people want. They're going to be going through a lot of it all day. And so for you to deliver just that amount is probably not enough to satisfy the appetite of your audience, I might suggest.
This is a fantastic channel to be trying shorts on. Your videos are already of the proper length. Without clicking on them, we don't really know if they're shot vertically or not.
It doesn't look as they are so far. Like that one, it certainly isn't. One.
I would take some of these more successful ones, maybe repost them, or maybe make another version of them and make them vertical, and keep them under a minute and see what they do. I've tested this myself. We've been doing tests at vidIQ, and right now, at least at the time of this live stream, vertical videos that are of 59 seconds or shorter, and with the hashtag shorts in the title or description, blowing up. Like it takes about 24, 48 hours, but a lot of them are ending up on that shelf, and people are scrolling through these like TikTok, and it looks like your content would be catered to that kind of crowd, looking for that bite-sized content.
I think we've got a channel lined up soon, which is going to reflect that a little bit. So we'll save a shorts talk for a little later on to go into more detail. Right, so those are the first 2 channels that submitted this week from the form. But what we also run every single week is our Photoshop battles. And as we welcomed our new community manager, Dan H, into the team last week, we decided to get a fairly dapper shot of Dan here, actually. And
all the shots of Dan are dapper.
we let the community run riot here, Dan. So if you just want to talk us through some of these submissions here, because it was a bumper week. We had lots of submissions from all sorts of people here. I
gotta say, I am definitely feeling the love from the vidIQ community. Thank you so much for the Photoshops here. As I mentioned to the crew, I put most of these up on my Instagram stories and was getting some pretty excellent feedback, especially from my actual friend Jeff, whose wedding that photo is from.
I see.
Very confused last week, but I think he's getting into the spirit now of it. So,
we did re-christen Dan.
Thank you to that.
We did re-christen
to the winner of the week, which was the Star Wars Higher Ground meme.
Yeah, so I mean, you'll see more of these in the memes of the week next week. But yeah, I think this was the winner in the end.
Yes.
Here we are.
Shout out to Josh Sampson at DAZN USA and my boy Franco Panizzo, Miami Total Football. Both rave reviews for this one. So those are my boys. So I had to go with it.
Is this just because you want to be Obi-Wan Kenobi? Is that why this one won, basically?
Ewan McGregor is a clear idol of mine. So if I could be anywhere as cool as him on a motorcycle, I'll take it.
So that was the winner, Bisho Gaming. And so we're going to audit this channel next. And I'm going to bring Dan in this time. But Jeff, I know you're waiting in the wings. If you're desperate to talk about Minecraft, then please do contribute. But first of all, Dan, Bisho Gaming's 200 subscribers here. For this channel. Looks as if they're focusing on Minecraft with some, I would say, for a channel of its size, tasty thumbnails and some positive audience reaction to some of these videos. Some of them are getting some nice views.
Yeah, okay, so first I'm confused. How did we end up with 2 Dans and 2 Jeffs in our live stream?
That is true. I didn't even realize that. So we renamed Dan H to Jeff, and then we brought in another Jeff. Okay, folks, in the chat, can you let us know for a backup name for Dan H / Jeff? Like, what could be the next name that we could add out, and we'll maybe apply that.
You did suggest that real Jeff could be not Travis. That's kind of rude. But I'm just trying to help. Anyway, Bisho Gamer. Okay, so we have a Minecraft channel. What I assume is a Minecraft channel just based on what we're seeing right here. So that is good. I always say if you can stick to one game, definitely do that. I really like where you're going with your thumbnails.
Me too.
There are the latest video. It's about shaders on Pocket Edition. Very interesting, but you didn't go with a custom thumbnail on that one, which was kind of interesting. I think because I can see the UI, I can see the little mobile controls and stuff like that. I would have tried to not have that, so it would have been even more clear that we're looking at Minecraft with like these shaders on. And I would have taken a picture of something like a house, something with the light's really going to reflect off of, because it's kind of hard to see what's going on right there. Other than that, and shorts, obviously, it's okay if they don't have thumbnails. Look at that. So Bisho Gamer tried a short, 59 seconds, and it got 709 views compared to everything else going on the channel.
Yep.
Gaming channels here, take note. If you've been thinking about how can I do some shorts, it looks like it says short version there. So it looks like what Bisho did was take a pre-existing video and cut it down to a minute long and just upload it again. I mean, it's worth a shot. That's really cool.
It's a bold strategy.
Yeah. As for everything else going on, I think the titles. I think the titles are the next thing we
I agree,
work on.
Dan. Yeah. Let's rip these titles to shreds.
Okay. Terrible titles. These don't make any sense. They don't tell me anything about what's going on. No. Sorry. That was mean. No, so Among Us and MCP 116, interesting, but not. It just doesn't give me that like juicy. Okay, why should I click on that? Like, you've kind of told me everything with the thumbnail. Almost, it seems. It just looks like you put a picture of the little dude from Among Us in Minecraft. What am I getting out of it? You know, shader testing map for shader test. It sounds so technical, you know. So I think we should do some keyword research. And figure out with Minecraft Pocket Edition, even we can just do some searches MCPE and see what other people are doing in this realm if we want to.
One thing I was going to say about the titles, and I know this is so petty, but they're all in lowercase, and for some reason that just really annoys me. I
agree.
I don't know why. But like most titles, you know, they have capitalizations where they're required. So maybe just that little tweak may be beneficial to you as well.
Because it kind of makes it look like your video was uploaded without any effort. Like
that's it. It makes it feel like it's uploaded as a file name. I think that's what I'm the vibe I'm getting. If it's not properly punctuated, it's that sense of you just uploaded a video file name and not changed it.
Right. Yeah. So I think I think that would be something just low hanging fruit for you. Capitalize your titles where applicable.
Applicable.
You could also do. Is someone making fun of applicable? I heard.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I like the way he said it.
You could also try parts like some of these titles have certain parts that are all caps for some reason. I never know why people do that, but it doesn't give me that same like just a file name uploaded to this. Ooh, look at that thumbnail. That's chaos.
Capitalizing on specific keywords can lead emphasis to certain things.
Yeah.
Like MCPE, you want to have that capitalized if you can. There's another one that I saw as we were scrolling where it said I found, and he had found very specifically. So if you can throw an emotional hook in there, even better. Or if these videos that he's doing about MCPE are how to, obviously a how, who, what, where, why.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing too, is especially for ranking in search. If you can answer a question, and I like how you said emotional titles too, like having that kind of like something happened, and it triggered this emotion, this thought. That these are all things that would just be worth researching.
One last thing while we're on the screen is if you're noticing all of this detail over here on the right hand side, like a keyword score, saying that right now there is a decent volume for MCPE, but it's very competitive, so it might mean that you need to niche down. These are all bits and pieces of information that vidIQ offers you as part of our software. And this is free, the information that you see right here. So if you want to try vidIQ, along with this, my favorite tool, the real-time stats bar, which shows you how your channel is performing without the need to go into analytics. And also here, like how well is the video received by audience. Again, these are all free tools. Make sure to download vidIQ if you haven't already done so, because I've seen that there's a lot of new people here in the chat. So that was the original channel. Let's just go back. Was Bisho Gaming. With some good thumbnails, but probably work needs to be done on the titles. We'll move on to the next channel now, though, and this is where we're going to go into some pre-selected channels and see what they look like. And the next one coming up is Game Titan. Now, I think we would argue whether or not this is a gaming channel. I think we'll say that it isn't, because it's mostly to do with how to make a game, so coding and that type of aspect of education. Dan, I think you selected this channel, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when we have programming channels that pop up, so I always like to give those a look. And one of the programming methods, is it a language? I don't really know what you'd call it. Scratch. You can make games with it. And I think it's really cool because I think it's more or less caters to a younger crowd, and it's just so important to, I think skills like this are going to be essential in the future. So it always makes me really excited. So this channel is doing a lot of like deep dive style content, even live streams where they program things and they kind of like tackle concepts. One of their most popular videos is about coding gravity into a game, which is pretty interesting. So I was struggling a little bit though. Obviously they're not using custom thumbnails in a lot of these, it would seem. It just looks like a screenshot from the actual program. When you look up Scratch tutorials or what have you, there's two things I noticed when I looked it up myself. The thumbnails are pretty basic, just kind of clear what you're going to get. And there's a lot of beginner level content.
Let's have a look then. Scratch tutorials.
These are kind of cool, actually, how they're specific games that you can make.
Yeah, I always feel as if you're doing like some coding, is there like an end result, like some simple graphic that you've created, or something applicable like a lift moving, or like, as you say, how to do gravity. Maybe you don't want to show the coding behind it. You want to illustrate what you're trying to code, and I think some of these are quite effective in the way they do it. I mean, this is a really good one actually, where you've kind of dropped in a little bit of a Scratch code there, so it associates the viewer with the program that you're using, but also what you're graphically trying to code as well. So there's an end result. I mean, all of these thumbnails are showing you like an end result, and well, most of them in terms of Scratch tutorials. I was also thinking as well, Dan, that maybe sometimes in the titles they're not being explicit enough with what program they're using. I mean, they do use Scratch in there sometimes, but it's kind of at the end, or it's maybe not incorporated into the title well enough, so it's not like how to create gravity in Scratch. Like, I'm wondering if the creator just needs to go simple and have the how-to concept of titling. Maybe find out where that's going to go with the channell. Yeah. Any thoughts from you, Jeff, just as you're taking a glance at this, that we may have missed or not talked about?
Well, I mean, for me, it's, I know they're trying to show exactly kind of what's going on their screen. It almost just looks like screen grabs to me. I would love to see some custom thumbnails done there. I like the titling, where he's doing like live coding, or was not expecting what happened at the end, or which is faster. So I like that they're doing that with the titling. But some of these thumbnails I would love to see, because this looks the same as this, looks the same as this, looks the same as this. So something to sort of differentiate. Because I even for live streams for myself, I've created thumbnails for live streams, so that people can know, okay, well, this is one of my regular videos, this is one of my live streams.
We also create thumbnails for our live streams as well, but we just use them over and over again, as we have done for the last 3 years. Question I wanted to ask you both here about live streaming. Do you think that's a wise idea for educational content like this? Because my fear is that often with live streams, once they're done, they die a death on YouTube, and that's been a common feeling about live streams. They're very much about the community and the here and now, and I'm just worried with this live streaming stuff, you're not giving the educational aspect of the content a chance to maybe hit the search terms and that type of thing. Any thoughts there?
Well, there's one thing I noticed about these other Scratch channels that we just looked at is it feels like we're kind of getting into a series that is going to teach you something in the end. Like, so how to make a shooter game, how to make a tower defense game, and they're all broken up into parts, right?
Of about 10 to 20 minutes as well, just looking at the timestamps there.
Yeah.
That's
so
a bit longer.
The thing that this channel seems to be doing is I bet you that content takes a long time to make, because they're trying to get a complete thing.
Yeah.
And it probably takes them a long time to make a whole game, right? Well, this channel seems to be covering little things, little basics. So you can kind of construct your own game. You can decide if you want to make a tower defense or a shooter. It's kind of up to you. And I get that strategy. I understand what they're doing, but I think it's only for the purpose of trying to get out as much content as possible. I'll teach these little tiny concepts so that way I can put out a lot of videos. Now, that said, maybe that's where live streaming fits into the strategy. So you work on the overall project. Let's say you're trying to teach people how to make a tower defense game. You're working on that in the live stream, and then you can do your part one of how to make a tower defense game maybe off of that live stream. Maybe that's not the greatest idea because you're kind of reusing content, but I'm trying to think of how you can keep your channel active, because I feel like that's the struggle here. For this kind of thing, it must take a long time.
Interesting. Jeff, did you have something to add?
For that, I mean, it's sort of similar. Like if he's doing the series like type of stuff where, how to make a tower defense part 1, part 2, part 3, then at the end of that, I would do a live stream that kind of goes over those points, but also to give the community a chance to ask questions on the spot, and that you can answer like, hey, I'm gonna, and I would even include it in the videos part 1, 2, and 3, where I'd say, at the end of part 3, coming up, we're gonna hold live streams for live Q&A. If you have any questions about anything I went over, make sure you come through and ask the questions there, and I can, help you out on the spot. Something like that, where you can try to give them value in that sense and create community in that sense.
Nice. Okay. So that is Game Titan there. We wish you the best of luck. Continue to program as well as building a YouTube channel. Something I quickly forgot to mention here, by the way, we will be going through some tweets soon. So if you want to send your channel audit memes to us, make sure you include the hashtag channel audits. And we'll be picking some tweets from here a little later on. So yeah, see there's already a few that are coming through. What on earth is going on there? I'll have to revisit that later on. Let's move on to the next pre-selected channel, though. I'm just going to get my bell there. All right, so we're moving on to Mountain Man Treasure. Now, first of all, you know my thoughts about generic channel banners. And this is a generic channel banner. I can guarantee you that because I have it on my secret channel, if anyone can find that. But I'm not sure if this person is trying to trigger me by using the channel name Mountain Man Treasure, which means that the channel banner kind of fits the channel itself. I don't know. I'm just wondering here. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this one, which has 1,500 subscribers. Okay, as a trio, guys, let's see if we can work out what this channel is about.
I'm not going to say because I already know.
Oh, well, no, well, why do you know, Dan? Is it because you know this channel? Or
no, because of the audit form.
Oh, right. Okay.
For me personally, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, based on the name, maybe treasure hunting. I'm really not sure though.
So yeah, the channel name and banner seem to not relate at all to the thumbnails. As I looked through it more, but this took about 30 seconds. This feels like a reseller or an eBay person who buys stuff and sells it for a profit, or finds hidden treasures perhaps on buying sites. The reason I say that is because I've seen a couple of times in the title it says reseller, or I've seen eBay, but it took a long time to try and work that out from the thumbnails. What Travis and I often talk about here is whenever you're talking about money and maybe spending a lot of money or earning a lot of money or saving money, that should be one of the focal points of your channel, of your thumbnail. Like, this item cost this, or I saved this amount of money when I bought it from this certain place. And the thumbnails just don't give me that vibe at all right now. They seem a bit chaotic. The text is really throwing me out because it's different fonts and different colors every single thumbnail, which is completely blowing out my thoughts on consistency. Those are my initial thoughts. Dan, you know from the form, but what else do you have to say about this one?
Well, you are right in that it's an eBay reseller channel. They that's exactly how they describe themselves in the form.
Is it in the about section then? Because I'm just wondering if it is specifically eBay. All right, so it's different marketplaces, isn't it? I mean, an easy solution here would be to just drop in the logo of a site where you bought the certain whatever it is on the thumbnail. That would be a starting point for me.
Yeah. What's cool is that they still have built an audience. Their videos are still getting views, but
that is true. Yeah,
I think we would all agree that there needs to be a clear thumbnail strategy and theming here, because they're all just so different. And most of them are kind of hard to read based on the color of the text or the size of it in some cases. Another interesting thing is like their live streams are doing pretty well. Like it looks like podcasts, keeping it real. And they're all about an hour long and they got decent views. So I think they have, I think there is some kind of organized structure here, but it just doesn't look like it on the surface.
Yeah, I'm just starting to read the titles now. These are really interesting titles. They feel like they're not necessarily trying to be keyword rich, and they're more like trying to tease a story. from the video, which is really interesting. Like, we've sold a little of this and a little of that on eBay in the last 2 days. Really interesting titling structure. What I think is that you've worked out what resonates with your audience and gets them to click, as opposed to treating YouTube as this search and discovery engine. And usually we may argue that you might want to include more keywords in your titles, but I think for you it's working with a titling strategy. So I wouldn't necessarily change that. I think we would all agree that the thumbnails do need a little bit of cleaning up. Any other thoughts from either of you here, Dan and Jeff?
No, absolutely. Just tightening up that thumbnail structure, trying to stick to one font, one color.
Yeah.
One thing that I would even suggest is obviously the way that their titling works for the community that they've built, but to get some of these especially some of these that could be evergreen content, at a certain point, 24, 48 hours, I would consider switching the title to something search friendly.
Oh, interesting. Go on. Let's expand on that, Jeff.
So just something in the sense of where initially, the first people that are going to look at your video is obviously going to be your people who are subscribed, people who have the notification bell turned on. So you want to title it for them. And this is sort of what they're already doing, an emotional hook, telling them kind of what's going on. And then once that initial wave is already done and out of the way, and you start kind of seeing the views starting to die down, then I would probably go ahead and switch the title over to something more, search friendly, using those specific keywords that are, relevant to your video.
Fascinating point, this. So let's just illustrate what Jeff is talking about here. I'm going to let's do this video here. So what Jeff is talking about here is that in the first 48 hours, you'll get this initial surge of views when you're getting a lot of views from notifications and browse features. So that's your initial velocity. But then as those people that watch the content, in order to try and get more exposure for the content, maybe add a little more search intent in there. So we're thinking around here, Jeff, are we, in between the 2 and 4 days, if a video is really starting to tail off, it's already had its goodness from your community. Now it's a chance to maybe reach out. I've never thought of that strategy before for channels which maybe to begin with appeal to the community and then reach out to a wider audience. But it makes complete sense. It's just whether you have a time and inclination to maybe convert those titles from a certain audience to a more broader audience.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It is time consuming, and it is going to require you to have patience and to pay attention to your analytics. But it is a strategy that I would consider trying.
Now, is this right? I've just sorted by most popular, and the video with the biggest views is 1,000 for a channel with 1,500 subscribers.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, all right. Let's just investigate this a little more. I'm just going to scroll down for a bit. So this is all of the content that the channel's been posting in the last 6 months. I mean, how many videos do you think there are there? Maybe one a day, one every other day?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
So just the volume of content is another reason why the channel's probably building a nice community here. Interesting stuff. So yeah, I think what we're thinking here generally is visuals, aren't we? We're thinking channel banner, unless you're going to start sticking some eBay shops on the top of these mountains or something to make it visually appealing. Let's give a proper channel banner with good value proposition and do some research into some thumbnails and how you might be able to improve these. Because I would say that they're probably holding your channel back as a whole, considering how well your community reacts to every single video. There. Nice stuff. Let's move on to the next channel then, which is Sam's Food Chronicles. I think, Jeff, this is your first pre-selected channel.
Yes.
So what are we looking at here with a channel with nearly 500 subscribers?
So this is essentially, I picked it almost at random myself anyway. So this is kind of cool because we're just kind of looking at it right at a glance. I like the fact that they're already bringing essentially the value proposition here. I probably would slim this down a little bit if at all possible. Boil it down to, because they have a lot going on: Jamaican infused recipes, food journalism, social experiments. There's got to be a way to do this much quicker, much more effectively, whether it be something like 3 to 5 words, much bolder text. That's something that I would probably try to aim for. I do like the fact that they seem to be respecting the mobile guidelines. I don't think she's going to get cut off here.
Yeah.
So I think that looks okay. Aside from that, let's see here. I like the use of color. On the very first thumbnail that I'm seeing, they kind of have that bluish green kind of backdrop going, and it seems to be pervasive through many of their thumbnails. Yeah, even, you know, with the exception of ones that are just purely about the food and they just showcase the food. So I like the strategy going on there. Let's see.
What do you think about the use of text on these thumbnails, with the exception of a final thumbnail? Something that we always talk about is, especially when it comes to food, who is the hero of the content, and it's a food. And you want to try and show that off as much as possible. And the minute you add any text on there, you're kind of pulling a viewer away from looking at the succulent, juicy food that's on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I have to agree completely. I'd rather see just the food up close. And this is something that's actually easy to see. You know, if you just do the search yourself for whatever dish it might be, you will see usually in the top 5, top 10 search results is going to be something with little to no text, and usually just the particular dish, like right up front, hits you right in the face.
I mean, these are very simple thumbnails, have not been treated too well. So I think there's potential opportunities here to make, like, I guess that's a good example. And there is text in there, but it's down in the bottom left-hand corner, so it's not disrupting. I think this is another effective one here where the text is used, but it is effectively in a block in the top right-hand corner, and the food has a chance to dominate the rest of the screen. But I think there's maybe an opportunity here for somebody to come along in the Jamaican recipe market and create stunning thumbnails that just aren't really being done anywhere. Like, I guess this is a good example, but again, they've got 2 people on screen and a bit of text there. I mean, these thumbnails aren't bad, but there's maybe 1 or 2 tweaks that could be done to improve things here. Yeah,
absolutely. I completely agree.
They feel very professional, and they feel like something you would see in like a magazine or something like that. Mm-hmm. I do mean that as a compliment. I love the work they do with the fonts and everything. Just very, very well done. But yeah, I think the unfortunate thing about YouTube, and especially this category, is you guys are right. The food is the hero, and you know, these thumbnails might be done a bit too much, and I would kind of try to make your next one just a lot more simple.
What I'm doing here is I'm just drawing like the amount of space that the food takes up in the thumbnails, so you can see, like, is that enough of a thumbnail for me to? Is that? I guess is she holding like a chicken leg or something there?
Yeah, what is that?
Not sure.
So I'm just like, what we'd like to see most of the time is a food that dominates like this part of a thumbnail. It's a dominant space, and sometimes they just seem to get lost in other elements of the thumbnails that are going on here.
And I think also there's a thumbnail, like we have rules of thumbs for thumbnails where, you know, a lot of people will lean into you must show your face, but I'm more of study your niche. And if your niche, there isn't a lot of faces, then don't do it and see how that plays out. Because I think food is a niche where you don't necessarily have to show your face. I know the niche that I'm personally in, it behooves me to not show my face. So it's, you know, just, I think it really comes down to your niche, and it's worth looking into what these successful channels are doing and sort of looking at that strategy and how you can apply it.
Now, it might just be the amount of time that's passed for these previous videos, like that was 6 months ago, but these seem to be the most successful ones on the channel. There was a nice run here of videos with 300 views plus, and then ever since then, they just haven't really had the same push. So I'm wondering if there's something in the thumbnails here that maybe works better. I don't know. I'm theorizing here, and also maybe the view duration or the content itself. I'm wondering if you want to revisit them and see if there's anything that was going on slightly better here versus earlier on. Jeff, your camera may have just broke. I've just got an image of you smiling right now, so you may want to tinker with that if you can. Anything else, Dan, that you can see here from Sam's Food Chronicles?
I want to just say I appreciate their dedication to their niche for sure.
Yeah.
That's something we see with a lot of food channels, is that they kind of try to just make everything they love to normally eat, and it becomes a channel about way too many different types of food and methods of making food. So you're doing a lot of things right, and I do think thumbnails could be perhaps like your game changer. We'll have to see.
And the final thing maybe is volume of content. It looks like you're posting every 2 weeks at this point. Is there a challenge there to maybe do one video a week? The more shots that you take at a target, the better chance you have of something really taking off there for Sam's Food Chronicles. Absolutely. All right, as Jasper barks away in the background, Dan, H/Jeff/ whatever you've been called in the chat, is there any common questions that are coming up in the chat right now that we maybe want to tackle before the next channel?
Yeah, sounds good, guys. There were a lot of names going through on the chat, on the Jeff chat, many of which I can't say out loud on the stream, or my time at vidIQ will be extremely short. So we will move on from that. A lot of good chat going on, though. Kian Kang back again from last week. Smoke the Bear and his 1.3 million followers in here. Woo! Michael Shiro as well. But let's get to some questions. Skeleton Gaming says, what is the point of changing thumbnails if he's not getting any views anyway?
Oh, well, where do we start with that?
Okay, thumbnails are still super important. Like, here's the thing. If YouTube serves up your content in search, right, and nobody clicks on it, they do see your thumbnail, that's an impression, but it's not a click-through, then YouTube is going to recommend it less. You want your thumbnail to be clickable. It's like the cover of a book, and people are very, very visual creatures. That's why we always say don't judge a book by its cover, but really I think any author would tell you they spend a lot of time making sure they have a good cover.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a better strategy to, rather than going through your back catalogue and testing new thumbnails, it's with your next video you test a new thumbnail, and then if it works on that new video, then you can go to your back catalogue? Because maybe you might be changing thumbnails with no evidence to prove that they actually work anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a smart strategy to do it, is to look at how viewers respond to something new, because that's where you're going to get the data that's going to help you make a better decision, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a confusing thing on my personal channel where I have a video that I posted, and I said to myself, I'm going to have to come back and make a new thumbnail for this, but I'm going to put this here for now, something I didn't like, and the video's doing well enough to where now I'm not going to touch it. But I still think the thumbnail is bad, but maybe the context is there and for some reason it's converting. But yeah, it's about, if something about that video is getting clicked on, and I would say you want to start with a great thumbnail if you can.
All right then. Anything else coming through the chat waves, Jeff?
Yeah, we got a few things. I think, I said the same thing, right? You're going to get impressions, but whether or not you get views may very well depend on your thumbnail. Shout out to TTV Epic Gamer, since he threatened to tell more jokes in the chat if I didn't. And he's also made a donation today. So
give him
an extra shout out.
Yeah.
So we'll go with one final question here from the chat.
Yeah.
So Tech's Club, everything tech and design. This is sort of something we see a lot, but my channel was initially into tech, but now I'm doing design content. How is that going to affect my channel?
We'd have to ask a question back, really. How you've pivoted? When did you pivot? I mean, if you've just pivoted now, like you've done 1 or 2 videos, then yeah, it's obviously going to have an impact on the existing audience, and some of them are going to depart. But if that's a decision you've made, then you have to be accountable for that and take responsibility and just continue to go full force into this new topic, because that's what you want to present to an audience. It can be a challenge, and yeah, you may see your channel plateau or drop a little bit, but ultimately in the long term, if that's your ultimate goal, is to hit your content with a better audience for you, then I'd say go for it.
Yeah, good advice all along. I'll be back later in the stream as well, guys, so get your questions in, tag me in the chat, so you'll get noticed.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Let's go back to our channels now that we're going to pre-audit here, and the next one
confusing.
is... I know. We're going to now look at Basically Anime. This channel is a animation channel, obviously, with 400 subscribers, and hey-ho, look at those view counts. They look very tasty, very healthy. More views and subscribers in every single video. This channel's doing everything right. Well done. That's all I'm going to say. Dan, Jeff, take it over.
Which Jeff?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I like where it's coming from. I wish the banner would have been a little sharper because it looks
it is a bit 8-bit, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like it wasn't done in the right resolution. So just sharpen that up just to make it look cleaner. I like the way it looks though. It just needs to be not blurry, essentially. But aside from that, I like where it's going. He's getting decent views. I'm just wondering about conversion over to subscribers on that. Kind of what's going on there. But I like what they're going. I mean, obviously it's getting clicks, so looks like it's doing pretty good overall. I like the fact that he's sticking to the same font on his text, although he does change the colors around quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. So the channel is 6 months old, and so we can see there's definitely a thumbnail evolution going on here. To the last sort of row of videos where they've actually gone to sometimes these black and white comic images. I don't know if you've done that on purpose or that's how the comics are presented. It's an interesting way of doing things.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan?
It's with the nature of anime is that it's going to be kind of like, especially when you're drawing scenes like this, they're going to be kind of chaotic and crazy. And I think that their thumbnails should be a little bit, I guess clean might be the word, but I wouldn't try and show so much, I guess, in each thumbnail, because it's just kind of hard for my eyes to like focus on one thing. I'm looking in particular at the black and white thumbnails that are just like pencil to paper, because some of the other ones that are in color are a little less busy, but I think the ones that are interesting to me, like, oh, maybe I'm going to learn. Here's the thing: are they teaching us how to draw? I'm kind of missing.
What I think is it's conversation and reaction to Japan. Sorry, it might not be Japanese anime, but anime in general. That's what it looks like. Whenever I mouse over something, and this is something I want to touch on very briefly, it all seems to be content.
Got it.
Directly from whatever it is they're reacting to.
I guess my mind went to artwork when you said animation channel, but you mean anime, and that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think like definitely the things you're showing in each thumbnail, it just makes them feel rather busy, and I would try and zoom in a little bit on maybe one character, one action, one thing happening. And I think that could really, really help these thumbnails stand out. I like the evolution because these old ones are a lot more text heavy. And I don't think that was super fantastic.
I think there was a lack of. I think these thumbnails were okay, but there was a lack of consistency. Whereas now you look at these ones and they all feel as if they're from the same channel, more or less. Which is interesting to see. Now, one thing I will say is, because as I said, I was mousing over each of these, and I'm a little worried about whether you may hit copyright issues in the future, just because it all looks to be footage lifted from the anime.
Yeah, they have to be very careful about that.
We're not watching the whole video, of course, and you know, when you have this footage, it means that people are going to gravitate towards your content, which is fantastic. But just be aware of how that's being presented, because maybe now it's good, but like when you get monetized, YouTube is probably going to scrutinize your content more, and if it's all just content lifted from somewhere else with you maybe adding a voiceover, then you get into the argument of fair use and so on. So just be aware of that. Like I say, we can't go into detail because we're not going to watch the content itself, but that's something to look at. But yeah, I think in terms of certainly in the last month, the momentum here, the channel's gone from sometimes like 250 views, 150 views, now consistently all videos getting over 500 views in the last 2 weeks at least. That is certainly some momentum building. So well done to you, basically anime. Good stuff there. Right. Any final thoughts, or shall we move on to the next channel?
No, I think we're good.
Let's move on then. It's going to be next channel, Salami Boys. All right, here we go. Channel banner seems to suggest we've got a basketball channel going on here, and you have 5,000 subscribers, which is awesome, brilliant to see. The views don't necessarily reflect that, though. Is it a basketball channel? I'm trying to ascertain that now.
Is that YouTube education there? 400,000 hours of watch time. 5,000 subscriber special there.
There's some YouTubery stuff going on here as well, isn't there?
Yeah, that grandma breaks 40-year-old something. That video did good. Huh. Interesting. I feel like this channel, and we haven't scrolled down very far, but I feel like this channel had kind of a focus on maybe basketball trick shots or something, and then they've started getting into other things to test them out. No, there's a YouTube strategy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going back and forth. That's kind of interesting. We've been doing YouTube strategy videos and then like some kind of basketball, I don't want to say trick shots, but just some kind of sports-related, basketball-related content.
That is the strangest title I've ever seen. 2 more subs until 1,730 subscribers. That is some specific milestones that you've been aiming towards on your channel. Do we agree that maybe this channel needs to decide whether they want to be a milestone achievements channel or basketball? And then what type of basketball? I'm still confused as to, is this gaming or is it actual like face-off basketball? Like,
We've seen a lot of channels that go a little overboard, I would say, when it comes to their subscriber specials. And they do feel like channels that literally just are out to celebrate their next milestone. And while I'm all for celebrating milestones, I think the community tab is a much better place to do stuff like that. Or just in your next video, briefly mention, by the way, we just hit 5,000 subscribers, and this one goes out to you. You know, something simple. I like the polls and everything.
So they are using the community tab, yeah. Jeff, anything jumping out at you on this one?
Yeah.
I think they really need to decide exactly which niche they want to roll with, because I'm personally not a fan of confusing the data when it comes to your videos.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be doing challenges, you know, reactions, things like that, do that. If you want to do YouTube education, then do that. But trying to do them all on the same channel it muddies the waters quite a bit. I'm more a fan of, you know, leaning into your strengths. So if you notice that certain types of content on your channel do far better than others, do that. I get where, you know, as creators, we want to expand out and do other types of content. But if you do that and it doesn't do very well, you know, if you're getting 1,000 views on every video and then you decide to do something like YouTube education and you get 100 views, obviously your audience is not there for that. So I just
saw by most popular, and I was trying to get a glean out maybe for his a more popular piece of content. And there are some basketball things here where the thumbnails are a lot simpler. But when they're just chaotic like this, I'm really struggling to work out what the video's about.
Yeah.
Which can be very confusing.
You know, it could be, I would say the only way we can make this work in the way it's going on now is a second channel. So you have your channel where you're doing your basketball stuff, and then on another channel, you're giving the behind the scenes strategy of like, hey, so my main channel just hit 1,000 subscribers. Let me tell you how I did that in this amount of time. That's a lot of work. 2 channels is a lot of work, but that would be a much safer bet than, like Jeff said, confusing the data.
Let's move on to the next channel then, and it's going to be called Dirt Bike Riders. I think I chose this channel because, hey ho, they've joined YouTube a week ago, or at least they started publishing content, and they've already got some absolute fundamentals here with a lovely value proposition channel banner. It doesn't say any words on it, but you immediately know that this is going to be about maybe motocross, extreme biking of some kind. Dirt Bike Riders, and I think the ZZX really emphasizes the extremeness there. I love that. And then the thumbnails, although very, very simple, it depicts what you're going to be getting from the content, which is some off-road biking. And so I think there's some good fundamentals there. The titles probably need a little bit of tweaking. But other than that, is there anything at this early stage that Jeff and Dan, you would maybe want to just advise as well?
Oh, maybe what kind of bike? You know?
Okay, so there might be some passion around. You are right there, Dan. Yeah, the passion around a certain bike that they've got, which may lead to possible tutorials or talking about certain things within that bike that you could maybe have to upgrade it.
Yeah, I've seen channels where they've basically a guy was doing repairs on a bike. Channel was kind of not going much of anywhere. He bought a brand new bike and started showing like maintenance and modification, and the channel blew up.
Yeah.
And that was because there were so many people who just bought that same bike who needed content on how to change my oil, how to maintain it, how to do lubrication, how to clean it. So there was so much content there. This guy had endless content to make. So there's always ways to lean into it, especially since a lot of my friends who ride are very loyal to their brand and to their bike. So
is that the brand or is that a location? Barovo. I don't know, but yeah, without an about section and without including in your titles maybe a description of a bike, I think you're losing out on potential SEO there. But let's remind ourselves, this channel has 40 subscribers from 3 videos, and each of these videos, except for this one, although it will soon, will have more than 100 views, and that's an excellent starting point for any channel.
Yep, totally agree.
Let's move on to the next channel then, which is going to be Thurbar, I think. Now, I may be pronouncing the channel wrong because it is a foreign language channel. And so, yeah, Jeff, let's give you the challenge here again. What do you think of this one not being able to potentially... is it Spanish or is it Portuguese?
It looks like Spanish to me because I'm able to read it.
You are permanently assigned to Audit then. See you, Travis. We got somebody who can speak another language. That's going to help us so much.
Yes, I mean, looking at the banner, it's obviously lacking the value proposition, but being that he's showing a screen with obvious mobile icons, then I would assume it's tech. And then when you get into the thumbnails, that's sort of what we're talking about. The first one, los mejores temas, are the best themes for iOS 14, which is smart. iOS 14 was just released, so it is a smart move to lean into that sort of content. I like the way it looks overall as far as the thumbnails are concerned. Looks pretty good. I like that they're using the pastels. If that's their thing, I would extend that into the channel banner in some way, along with the value proposition. Because that way you can have some sort of consistency there as far as like color channels, channel colors. But let's see, instalar la aplicación. So he's doing how to as well. This is how to download. This is how to install. This is how to essentially how to download, downloading icon packs. So it looks like it's some educational content around tech, around looks like MIUI, looks like iOS as well. So both Android and iOS. Yeah, there's a lot that can be had here. I would tighten up these thumbnails though, like they sort of done here in these last 3, maybe 5-ish. I would lean into that for sure.
Quick question then here. MIUI, is that a launcher for Android or a operating system from a certain phone manufacturer?
That's an operating system. That's a version of Android from Xiaomi. Right.
Because I think what I liked about this channel is that they're not just looking at Android, they're niching down into a particular operating system,
right?
Which is, I think, a good strategy for a smaller channel. And it seems like they've already found a superb niche here. Like they're getting thousands of views on some of these videos, which is incredible. But what I also like is that they're not afraid to maybe test the waters with the iOS operating system. So it's mostly an MIUI. But hey, they've noticed that the iOS 14 customization thing is a huge topic right now. So they've tested it. And maybe it's going to work, maybe it isn't, but that's all right. As long as they don't all of a sudden make exclusively iOS 14 content, I think it's okay to experiment. But we can clearly see what the niche is here. And again, translation of stuff. I know, even though I don't know any Spanish, I know this video is something to do with how to set up contacts or how to transfer contacts or something along those lines. And sometimes you look at thumbnails from English channels and you'll have no clue what the video is about. But these are so clear in their illustrations that even though this is a foreign language channel, I get a sense of what each of these videos are about. Dan, I want you to offer the final sage words on what I think is a very nice channel.
I also think it's a very nice channel. And for when did they start?
2 months
ago.
Yeah, and like the first video got 8,000 views. So
I mean, any tech channel here, take notes. This is what it looks like to niche down and really capitalize on trends.
Very nicely done. Okay, so that was Fairbar. Is that how you'd pronounce it, Jeff?
That's not a word.
All right, then.
So it's just, it must be the name, or maybe my guess is maybe that's annotation of like the first name and last name together.
Yeah. Whew, got myself out of a jam there. Right then, what we're going to do now is go back to our tweets and see if there's any comical tweets that we can have a look at here. I wonder if anybody's already memed Jeff in some way as we search through these. So what we're trying to do is find something that's entertaining. Yeah, all right, very funny. You know, some people don't get their audits. I appreciate that. And you will continue to not get an audit for being offensive in that way. Jeff and Dan there, we saw that one last week, 10 minutes ago. Are there any why do my
Edward's trying real hard.
Edward is trying. Look, there's people stealing each other's memes now. That's
Go back up. There's one that says that other guy.
Oh yeah, Edward. So you're right. So the thing is, who made this meme first? Was it Edward or is it
I think it was
Roll?
Game Roll because I saw Game Rolls first, even farther down. But even that is not good. It's not going to get audited because you've already given it the boot.
It sounds like. I mean, people keep posting memes as well, like Edward. So Edward, you've stolen this one from Heidi and Malik. Is that right? Oh,
it looks like it. Yeah.
All sorts of crazy things going on. So I'm going to choose this one. Yes, you deserve a audit because you fixed my face, and I appreciate that. So let's take a look at this one. It is Heidi and Malik, The Art of Making Her Beautiful. Okay, let's take a look here with your 2,500 subscribers. First of all, what I would say is I love that thumbnail. It's very simple. It shows that you're doing some henna, I think, on hand, whereas all of the other ones, I mean, again, we don't necessarily have to... Text is acceptable, but when there's all of this text and I'm not really sure how vitamin E is benefiting somebody, then I think there needs to be more emphasis on that, especially for a beauty channel. You call yourself a beauty channel, I believe. There's so much text on these thumbnails that I'm being lost in that, as opposed to what impact the beauty products that you're talking about have on somebody's skin or face or whatever. So those are my initial thoughts.
I would look at your audience and figure out who's the dominant viewer. Is it English speaking people, or I don't know if this is Hindi, but whatever foreign language. It just feels like each video is at odds with itself. Each video is fighting for that spotlight of like what's the dominant language here, and maybe this is a strategy that works. I don't necessarily agree with it because I mean it does lead to, it seems, a lot of text on the thumbnails, and I'm in general kind of confused. I don't really know, you know, who's the audience is my question.
Oh.
Yeah,
you guys can disagree with me. We've seen this sometimes where people have two different languages in their title and or thumbnail, and I never know what to make of that.
This is tricky because I think this is a cultural thing whereby certainly audiences in India are happy to see English and maybe another, because there's a lot of languages in India, but seeing like two languages going on in a thumbnail, and I think it's sometimes hard for us to advise on that. But yeah, I guess from our point of view, Dan, we because for us we're getting completely lost. Like you see English in the titles, and then you see, is it Arabic maybe? Then you're getting.
I apologize. Yeah, I didn't mean to make any assumptions. I just don't know.
We're losing something translation obviously here, and so that's why I immediately jumped to this thumbnail, whereby you remove all of the confusion out of things if you have just a really striking image which gives you a result rather than trying to interpret all of this text. I'm going to sort by most popular, Jeff, if you want to add anything, just while they're
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And I think this is something that we can all do, and anybody in chat can do, is especially if you're from, a different country or anything like that, but pay attention to where your audience is location-wise, geographically. So, that's one of the things where you can see where you should be aiming your titles and your thumbnails. So if all of your views are coming from, say, for instance, the US, then obviously you would want to have English text and, English in your titles. But if mostly reviews are coming from a different country, then you will probably want to aim it in that direction. As far as text is concerned, I would also look at where your views are coming from. Because I know for me on my own personal channel, I'm getting well over 70% of my viewership from mobile devices. So I keep my text to a minimum.
True.
I'll use one word, maybe two, and I make those letters huge because you have to be able to see it and read it on a phone.
Like, I mean, if we just take this as an example, this would take me 20 seconds to read all of that text, and you've lost somebody within 2 seconds for most thumbnails. Now, I did sort by most popular because this channel is about the art of making her beautiful. And what are we talking about here? Are we talking about skin products? Are we talking about hair, lipstick, creams? I'm wondering if there's a dominant topic that maybe this channel could niche down a little bit further into, because you do have some videos that have tens of thousands of views, but on average, the views are getting less than 100. So you're not resonating with your audience there. So I think you probably need to niche down a little bit as well there. Those would be my final thoughts. Anything else to add from you two?
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, then. Let's talk about vidIQ for a little bit longer then, because hopefully you've been learning a lot of awesome things here throughout this audit. So we're going to audit some more channels very soon. But vidIQ is also about giving you rewards and perks as you become a better video creator. And in the vidIQ rewards section of our website, we can offer you things like free access to the vidIQ Academy. We even offer free trials for some of the music services, such as Epidemic Sound, and also free sound effects from some of our partners. And there's all sorts of things like we have discounts on using different video products and getting people to make your own thumbnails as well, if you want to look at that. So there's all of these rewards here. If you want to check them out, there is a link in the description. And this is for all types of users. So free users get all of these rewards. And then if you upgrade to Pro, you get more benefits. And if you upgrade to Boost, you get even more benefits, like 20% off Shutterstock. So there's all of these offers here. So do make sure to check them out. And that is the vidIQ rewards. Now, then, I think we've audited all of our pre-selected channels.
Did we?
Oh, no, we didn't. Oh, right. So this is a segue. Yeah, you're right. How have I missed that? Right. Okay. So the next channel we're going to audit is HyperClaw79. But first of all, Dan, you're going to tell us why we are auditing this channel.
Dan H, right?
Either of you.
Jeff Dan or Dan. Yeah, let's go into this quick. HyperClaw79, super active on our Discord channel, always giving out advice and tips and helping people, be better members of the community. So one great way that we're going to continue to give back to our community is reward people. So if you're active in our community and our Discords, I'll see you, Dan will see you, Rob and Jeff will see you, and here's an opportunity. And also right now, if you DM ISW Thunder in our Discord, there may be a super secret role that no one has ever attained yet.
Even
Possible
I don't know this.
will go to you. So one sort of reward is this audit for HyperClaw79, but we have some more coming down the tube. So stay tuned and stay engaged.
All right, and so that is it. Essentially, join Discord, because the conversation, we can audit channels for a couple of hours, but the conversation about channels in general goes on for hours and days in Discord. And so becoming a really involved member may see you appearing right here. So Dan, C,
Yep.
what are we going to look at here with HyperClaw? What's going on here?
HyperClaw has a gaming channel. Looks like most of it, if not all of it, is Call of Duty Warzone. And as HyperClaw is a very active member, we're going to see a lot of things that we normally advise kind of coming to fruition here. One of them being one game, that we've niched down to one game. The thumbnails, while I would say maybe a little busy, are clear, they're readable.
Very consistent. You know immediately that it's a HyperClaw79 video just from the thumbnails alone, which I like. Yeah.
Yeah, and that could be a good strategy. I do think that there is something to keeping your videos consistent, putting your logo, putting some sort of mark that is always going to kind of make people recognize, oh, that's my pal HyperClaw. So that could be good. I do think that the branding is a little bit big when you consider that this is a gaming channel.
Yeah.
And I want to see a little more gameplay, I guess.
Right. Okay.
So the best loadout for Warzone, I think that could be a really good video because loadouts are something I'm sure a lot of people are like, what's going on? I want to make sure I have a good loadout for my game. But you've taken like 3, maybe 4, or maybe just 2 guns and cut them out, and you put a stroke around them, but they're just so tiny that I'm not really seeing loadout being the thing that video's about, and the text is kind of dead center. So I would kind of, for you, I would flip your thumbnail strategy. I would take one of those items and make them the subject of the thumbnail. And then I would take the text and make it supplementary. So best loadout is all you would need to say in this case. I would get rid of COD Warzone. I would get rid of Kingslayer, unless you feel like that's more relevant. You know your game better than I do. But I would have said best loadout and just one weapon. You know, so the thing that makes that loadout so good. So simplifying thumbnails could be a really good strategy here. It does look like shorts are also being tested. Look at that. Look at the last 2 videos.
Damn, you beat me to it. I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, I was going to mention that as well.
I'm giving it to you now. I'm segueing.
Well, I just wanted to add, like, I think in the thumbnail, this third of the thumbnail is a bit wasted. You could maybe move the text over here, make your logo a lot smaller, but keep all of the color consistency. And like Dan, as you say, bring out one of these guns and make it nice and big in this part of the thumbnail. So I think like the layout of the thumbnail is fine. It's just the execution of the different elements is a bit skewed one way or the other right now. Right, so the channel is 25 subscribers, and you've already been doing absolutely fine as a creator of your size, getting dozens of views for the first week. But yes, let's now have a look at YouTube Shorts. Clearly these are shorts because it's included shorts in the title. But we can tell also, because they're under a minute, and if I mouse over them, vertical format. And the views have gone from dozens to hundreds, which is incredible. You could be, or you could not, because I'm still trying to work out if Shorts is going to be the next big thing on YouTube. But you potentially could be the authority in micro content on Call of Duty Warzone if you continue to test these shorts. But that is a big decision to make, because going forward, we don't know if shorts are really going to be something that grows channels in terms of building a community, monetization. I still have no clue how any of that is working. But the fact that you've tested this in a very part of your YouTube journey is brilliant to see. And it's already had a significant impact on the view counts at least. There again, it is another question of like how much engagement do you get, because I'm looking at the likes. You've only got 8 likes in each of these, and I'm guessing you don't have many comments. But that is kind of how YouTube Shorts work in themselves, in that the content is consumed in a different way as well. So awesome to see, but I think keep testing both long form content and shorts at this point.
Absolutely.
Anything else to add from either of you two?
No, I agree completely that, go leaning into shorts because you can see the immediate results. And this is something that anybody who's in the chat, anybody who's doing something similar, you look at this example where everything, and then boom, 453, boom, 400. So this is definitely something to lean into. As far as the thumbnails go, your what you have, here in your title, leave that where it is. There's never a need to put the exact same words from your title in your thumbnail. You can get creative there. Use the thumbnail to be creative, get an emotional hook in there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you guys said. Keep kind of that styling with it. But definitely lean into those shorts because it looks like it's paying off.
The final thing I'm going to say right now about shorts is that one of the questions that a lot of people ask to begin with is, how do I get more views? And a simple answer right now is YouTube Shorts. The caveat is, long term, I don't know what those views mean for a channel, whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing. And I think there are a few warning signs right now. But yeah, if you just want some more views, then Shorts is definitely something to test right now. All right, so that, I think, now is all of the pre-selected channels, which means that we go into our randomness zone of channel auditing. So let me just check that we have a number of channels submitted for both. We have 370 for non-gaming channels and 470 for gaming channels. So let me adjust that. Okay, that's all good. We're going to pick first then a non-gaming channel, since we audited a gaming channel. And this channel is going to be 165. And we typed a number in here. We have no clue what this channel is going to be about until we load it up. And then we just all try and react and give you some advice here. So let's see what we have with the first random channel. And it is soulful lifting relaxation. I had to say that channel name twice. Music and sounds to relax your soul. Okay, what are our first thoughts here, folks?
So looks like they're aiming for the niche of people kind of listening to the music to relax. But it seems like some of these may be a bit on the short side for that.
Yeah, there's one here that's 8 minutes, another one here 8 minutes, 20 minutes. So Jeff, what are you trying to say to me here with the video length?
Essentially, I mean, if you're aiming for your music to be played for somebody to use either as white noise relaxation, then I think you probably would want to either one, be doing this as a live stream, or two, make these like an hour, few hours. Most of the videos that I see ranking in this type of niche are usually anywhere from 5 to 10 hours long.
Yeah, I'm just mousing over the thumbnails here, and you can see that it looks like in most cases it's kind of a repeating image. So people are certainly not watching these videos. They're going to be listening to them, as you say, in the background, which leads to that idea of something that can be continuously running on YouTube, which means setting up a live stream or extremely long videos of 4 to 8 hours long. So that's probably what you need to investigate next. And we've said this a couple of times in the past few weeks, where it looks like these channels just are never going to have a... I think with live streams, you've got a permanent presence on YouTube, whereas these kind of fall into video on demand and search, and live streams do get a boost as well. So, I mean, well, let's just do this. Let's just search for satisfying music. And, well, I'm going to change that to music.
You know, we saw something interesting as well when we were doing a little bit of research on this. And if you're going to lean into this type of niche where you're going to be making music for people to relax and sleep, I would black screen it. Because if somebody's going to have it up on their tablet, next to their bed, on their phone, whatever it might be, I would black screen it.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, but you don't want to have any distracting images, especially at night. Like, say it's dark in your room and you're showing all these images, you're going to have all this like flashy stuff on your walls. You know, that's just a thought. Just a thought.
So when I search for satisfying music, we get these 3-hour epics mostly, but the first live music is quite a way down. So I'm just wondering if there's a huge difference between searching for satisfying music and relaxing music. Because I would have assumed, there we go. So isn't that interesting? When you search for relaxing music, they're all live streams. When you search for satisfying music, they're more video on demand. So I'm wondering if there's a different keyword strategy you might be wanting to use for your own channel there. Dan, anything else you want to add, or should we move on?
No, you guys covered it. I was definitely going to mention the live stream thing too.
Let's move on then to the next channel, which is going to be 39. This is a gaming channel this time that we're going to be auditing. 39. And they call themselves Supersonic Turbo Gamer. That sounds like a controller you might have bought in the 1990s.
Turbo controller.
Right then. So, Dan, what do we see? I'm seeing some Stickman, a bit of Stickman-y stuff going on. I remember there was a channel maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago which was absolutely crushing it with Stickman stuff.
Yeah, and I think it is a trend right now. Definitely something to explore if you enjoy it. I'm also seeing some Roblox, some Battlefront 2, just on this first thing here above the fold. At least 3 different games. And especially with Roblox, what's kind of cool about that, if you don't know what it is, it's essentially a game with a bunch of games within it. So people actually make games and they get really popular. So something we've actually seen people be successful at is not just play Roblox, but play one game within Roblox and become the authority on that game. Something that you enjoy, something that you can make a lot of content around. So yeah, I think there's a lot of really basic things here. For one, a better titling strategy. We're just seeing kind of basic titles. Time to Destroy. I don't know what game that is. I don't know what it's about. Stickman Story Episode 2. I don't really know what that is. So yeah, it's a bit tough. I think hello guys, today I'll make a house with you sounds like how you would open a video, not really how you would title it.
yeah, good
so
point.
a lot of low hanging fruit here for you. Honestly, better thumbnails, better titles. Your videos are short. Are they vertical? Some of the videos up there?
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
they're not shorts per se.
Yeah, so that you could also try that. So instead of hey, I'm going to build a house with you, how to build a house in Roblox, whatever that particular game is, and maybe even try a vertical one.
All right then, some fundamental stuff there. So we'll move on to the next channel, which is going to be a non-gaming channel. I'm trying to speed things up so we can get through some channels because I didn't realize just how much we've gone through here. We're an hour and a half into this live stream now, so going to try and do a bit of quick fire auditing here if we can to hit as many channels as possible. Paradise of Ecstatic Rhythm. Wow, I've never had come across a channel like this. What is it about then? I think is it foreign language?
Yeah.
I think so.
Poetry and storytelling. Okay.
So the channel banner is in English, but where you have thumbnails and titles that sometimes are not. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's the thing again with 2 different languages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many subscribers?
700 subscribers.
Okay.
There's one video with 32,000 views, which is, I think, a definite outlier. And occasional videos. Oh, there's one here with 50,000 views. Right. Let's sort by most popular here. And they are getting lots of engagement as well. So I think these are genuine organic views. I mean, I would be looking at these 4 videos and trying to determine the traffic sources and maybe, I mean, are these your own poems? Or are you reading other people's? No, they're by the author as well, I think. So that's interesting to see.
Yeah.
Let's just have a look at the about section. I would be fascinated to know how these videos have got so many views, just comparatively speaking. Whether you're in a community where you can share these, or they've ended up on Reddit or somewhere. I'm wondering if the distribution is the strategy to try and focus in on here. Is that the total number of? All right, so I thought they'd done more videos. That's interesting.
Oh.
Feels like some videos just disappeared from my... Let's just do that again. Let's just have a second look here. Yeah, it's just half of the videos disappeared. So they've been making content for 2 years. And they maybe make content every 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, maybe 2 a month, maybe monthly. Interesting.
I wanted to mouse over and actually see what the footage was like as well, but it's not letting me.
It might just be that. It might just be a still image.
I'm going to just click on one because I just want to... I'm going to skip forward. Okay, so I think it's text.
Looks like it.
So do they all include the text? I'm wondering because of like the view counts there and like how many... There's 100 comments there as well. I've never seen a poetry channel have as much traction as this in some of their content, but not all.
Yeah, I wonder if it's been shared, like you said, maybe put somewhere else, just a couple videos, and they kind of took off. Or maybe they hit a search term in those other couple videos and they took off. But it's really tough to give advice on a channel like this.
Poetry on friendship. Was that a trigger maybe for it? Right, hang on. Let me just sort by most popular again. So 2 of the most popular videos have poetry on friendship. Is that the search term, the keyword perhaps, that is helping you? So what I'm thinking about here is that you have the title of a poem, of course, but there needs to be maybe a descriptive element that it's a poetry on loss or love or tragedy or friendship that you've done here. And I'm wondering if those are the some of the key phrases in the titles that are going to help you. And it seems to be when you have some sort of description of the poem is helping you. So look at that. Poetry on friendship, storytelling of school life, poetry on friendship, long distance best friends. I'm sure you're doing this to an extent in other poems as well, but that was the one thing I can find here. I feel as if we're all struggling a little bit for suggestions, because I mean, our thumbnail is going to be as important for. I guess they will be. Like that is quite a striking thumbnail to have for a video to get somebody to click on.
Yeah, and it seems like almost like some of their most popular videos had more of a grayscale kind of a look to them as well.
Right.
So that would have been something I would have started leaning into if I would have seen the data showing me that. I mean, the amount of views is, it could be something. So
cool.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Dan? Or
no, it's a tough one for sure, but more poetry about friendship, I suppose.
All right then. Can you imagine what the poetry about our friendship would be like, Dan?
we will not be blessed with a kind poem, I don't think.
305 is the gaming channel we're going to look at here. Let's see what is on offer now. DJ Frizzo, I'm going to call you, and you've got an image of Theo Walcott on there, a soccer player. But you're doing a lot of Fall Guys.
Okay.
A lot of Fall Guys with the same thumbnail. These aren't live streams either. These are videos on demand, I think.
Yeah. So and it looks like just we're breaking up a Fall Guys playthrough into parts, and we're mixing in some other games. I've seen this style of channel time and time again, and it represents a creator who is really passionate about making content and just really likes what they like in terms of games they're playing. But it's kind of, at least with I have an acquaintance that I know that kind of was doing this for a bit, and it was almost like a resistance to bothering with thumbnails and titles and stuff, because I just want to play the game and post it, and that's certainly a way to do it, but these are the types of views I tend to see. Low 20s, 40s if you're lucky, and just there's not a lot here. Like discovery is going to be really, really tough, because it's all down to this Fall Guys Part 3, the Redemption, Fall Guys Part 4. Like the Fall Guys channels that are doing well right now are ones that are showing really funny moments, ones that are actually giving, if there's not really much strategy to Fall Guys, but ones that do try to give you strategies, the best route to take, or little tips and tricks here and there. That's the kind of stuff that gets you discovered. And then this kind of content can be good for keeping your audience who's following you engaged, your journey in a game per se. But yeah, this is just going to be a bit tough. I would try and niche down to one game, something you can make a lot of content on, something that you can think of maybe 10 questions just off the top of your head. What kind of questions can I answer about this? And then as you answer those questions in videos, mix in some of these other more casual, it's just me playing the game kind of videos. Videos for your audience, and then some videos for you.
I would say when you put some effort into two custom thumbnails here, it's very small sample size, but these two videos here, I think have the most views on your channel when you're trying to be a little more visually descriptive with your content, as opposed to the thumbnail wallpaper we have here. I mean, you write down, when you look at a thumbnail that says, it's all down to this. What's it all down to? Like, are you about to make a leap for the crown? Or, what's a climactic moment that you can tease in a thumbnail rather than this? Because people are going to see the thumbnail, and they're not really... people see thumbnails first, titles second. So you're missing the best opportunity to stop somebody from scrolling. And they probably won't even read the title. So yeah, definitely thumbnails. As you say, Dan, we've seen these types of channels hundreds of times before at this point, where they do these walkthroughs with episode numbers, and they end up with viewer fatigue of people just or no momentum. So same people watching, or those people eventually decide not to watch anymore as well. So that is DJ Frizzo. Right, Dan Jeff. That's what I'm going to call you. Or Jeff Dan. Do we have any more interesting conversations going on in the live stream chat that maybe we can tackle before we do our final round of channel audits?
Yes, absolutely. So the chat, doing really good today. We have a few people, Secret Person, doing some great work in there. Creative Talks will point out that you're not actually a moderator, so keep up the engagement, but don't feel free not to police the chat. And we have Among Us in the
Bless
chat,
him.
a verified account, but I'm guessing there's an imposter among us if that's the way to go. I'd also like to say that I am a salami boy. I didn't check out the channel too in depth, but that pretty much accurately describes me. But going into questions, Caracola Bella, we've had him, in a bunch of streams. Any tips on membership? I know that's something we don't do on YouTube, so we don't get a lot of questions on that. But he says he has the option to offer it, but isn't sure what else he could really give except for videos.
Jeff, I think you've been working towards membership. Have you got it yet?
Yes.
So have you set it up and got it got it running?
Yes.
All right then. Well, take it away with what you've learned about memberships.
It's mostly about giving value, and you don't want to make promises that you're not willing to keep. So in my instance, because I don't have the bandwidth to say create exclusive videos, things of that nature, so I've sort of priced it accordingly. So you can set up different price tiers, obviously. First things first, you want to make a trailer specific for your audience. So when somebody clicks that join, you can have a trailer that pops up only for those people that click that join button. That's going to sort of explain what's going on. As far as perks are concerned, if you need ideas, there's always, you can, follow them on social media. There's the option for members only live streams. You can also use your community tab by using members only posts. So in the members only posts, I like to offer exclusive early looks at kind of like stuff that I'm working on, things of that nature. So there's ways that you can lean into it. Obviously, if you have the ability to make extra content for them, even better. But it's best to under promise and over deliver when it comes to channel memberships.
I was going to say, as soon as you ask somebody to pay for something from you, then consistency becomes really important, doesn't it? Because you have to deliver on what you've promised at a base level, but then if you can offer extra things. So this is a case in point where don't promise to your capacity. If you can maybe create an extra 4 special videos for your members, then what you actually want to promise is maybe 3, and then if you have time you can deliver that extra bonus stuff so they feel as if they're getting even more. But yeah, I think that's as soon as people are financially committing to you and they're putting faith and trust in you and wanting to see you succeed, then there's more of an expectation that you have to deliver. So it adds pressure as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So that's just one of the things you have to be careful with. But and obviously lean into the audience, lean into the members, reach out to them, find out what it is that they'd like to see, kind of work that out with them and see what they're willing to accept. So kind of go from there.
Cool. Dan, Jeff, have we got maybe one more question we can tackle?
Of course, tons of questions in the chat, guys. So keep them up every week.
Yeah, thanks.
But Simply Tech has a good one, and we see this kind of a lot. Is it ever a bad idea to remove bad videos from my channel? So if it didn't perform well or I'm not happy with it, do we leave it up or do we take it down?
I don't think I've ever removed a video because it's performing badly. I just leave it on the channel and let it do its thing, because sometimes there are those miraculous videos that do absolutely nothing for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden they pop. Especially like some shorts. People made these videos of vertical format less than 60 seconds 2 or 3 years ago, and all of a sudden they're getting hundreds of thousands of views. I think if you wanted to remove a video from your audience, I would unlist it. So it means you retain the view. But for individual videos, I've never found that to be an issue. But Dan, Jeff, if you got any alternative viewpoints there?
I've certainly unlisted videos on my personal channel when I felt like I'm never going to come back to this. Even if this blows up tomorrow, I'm not interested in revisiting it. Or maybe I just, I went back and I looked at it and I'm like, this just doesn't represent my content today or who I am. Like, there's nothing. It's up to you. If you feel like taking that risk, maybe this video will take off. Maybe it's a video that did really well, but you keep getting requests to double down on it from your audience, but you've way moved on. That could be something to weigh. Like, well, it is bringing me views, but also it's disappointing a lot of people because they're subscribing for it and I'm not re-delivering it. So as a gaming channel who's tried a lot of different games, there was a lot of opportunities for me to optimize my channel, and that was one of the choices I made.
Final word on from Jeff here, and then we'll go back to some audits.
Yeah, no, I completely agree about not deleting a video. I would most definitely unlist videos that, not for underperforming, but if they don't match your niche or what you're doing now 100%, I would go ahead and unlist those for sure. Yeah, I'll never delete a video based on performance. So.
All right, then. Thank you. We're going to go to the tweets now. Let's see if we can pick one, maybe. I saw this one at the top, and it just made me laugh. I don't know. Jeff, how does this make you feel?
Which one are we looking at here?
Bring back Travis, eh? No, we're not bringing back Travis. And I don't know if you saw any memes of the week, but Savage got fired. As we were talking last week, he did not pay his bills. I don't know if it's a coincidence that Savage and Travis aren't here on the same week, but I'll leave that one to your imagination. But Edward's been posting a lot, hasn't he?
Edward's stealing a lot of memes still.
Yeah. So maybe we should not touch him today. You mean like this one?
Well, they say there's no honor among memes, right?
Yeah, it looks that way. But is there an original one that maybe we can find? I think somebody's already somebody made that as a waiting to be audited before, but they've not done that there. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, folks. 3 out of 10 for memes this week. So I'm not going to choose one. I've made a decision there. Firm, harsh. I don't know if that's fair, but I'm the host and I can do what I like. Right, we're going to pick another channel to audit here. This is channel 11, and this is Ari B. And I think it's another reaction channel. We've got 10 minutes left, so let's try and smash through as many as we can and give some quick advice here. All right then, Ari B reactions. You've got nearly 2,000 subscribers. I like the simplicity of the thumbnails. No text, which is great. You've got your hero reaction there. You're reacting to, I guess, different things happening on YouTube, not necessarily music. And for the size of your channel, I think this is good stuff. Any suggestions here from Dan or Jeff?
I like the way he's doing it. The lack of text is smart. I know he's done it before on some of the fans videos, diss tracks, sort of stuff like that, but I like kind of where it's moved forward away from that. I would for sure, depending on what they're reacting to. So if it's other YouTubers, if it's popular videos, you could always lean into trending to get some more views that way. But I like it so far. Can we scroll up and look at their banner real quick?
Yeah, very simple.
Okay,
very
yeah,
simple.
so very, very simple. So, okay, all right, no worries. It lets us know exactly what's going on here. So, yeah, can't say much more than that.
Cool. Dan, any thoughts?
Yeah, not much more to add. I do think...
Any thoughts? Yeah, not much more to add. Thanks.
Yeah, so many thoughts. You guys said them all. No, some of these breakout videos here, I wonder if they're from a year ago, so maybe it'd be a little bit hard to double down, but I'm sure you can kind of get some kind of data from those and just kind of give you a direction to continue going in.
I do feel as if maybe in the 6 months, in the next 6 months, there may be one video that really pops, like you just hit the trend at the right time, or it's an entertaining reaction in some way. So when that happens, just be ready to capitalize on it. But nice channel there, REB. Let's now choose a gaming channel, and this is going to be channel 57 from the gaming list. Let's take a look. This is Sanesh the Gamer, and your channel looks a little bit like this. You're approaching 500 subscribers. I'd certainly fix a channel banner and a text there. Dark red on black. It makes it very difficult to read. Dan, we are looking at a gamer who's playing, I think, Remnant and Hellpoint and Spellbreak and War Robots.
Lots of different games. It could be the same game with very different names for the videos. It's Hellpoint gameplay. I recognize. Okay, so that's like a 20. Well, we're up to 21 parts on that one. Okay, so some general advice here, especially for live streams. There's a big opportunity on YouTube where on Twitch you can't really put a custom thumbnail, and there's no search algorithm or discovery or anything like that. feel as you will about the different platforms and how they handle live streaming, but when you stream on YouTube, I think it's a missed opportunity not to capitalize on having a good title and having a good thumbnail, even though it's a live stream. It does represent more work, but I think it's crucial, because if you go and look at gamers that are live right now on YouTube, you got to compete with all of those different thumbnails and titles. So that would be my first bit of advice, because I'm seeing a lot of thumbnail wallpaper. I'd also say that in your form submission, you said open world RPGs and things like that, but correct me if I'm wrong, but these feel like first-person shooter style games.
Yeah, they do.
So I just don't know. Maybe I'm completely. I've never played that game before, so maybe I'm wrong. But it doesn't feel like that's really what your channel is about. I would niche down to, well, maybe that's what you want it to be about. Maybe that's your primary interest. And then like your latest videos don't seem like they have custom thumbnails. So there's a lot.
I was going to just hold you up there, Dan. I think these are all
shorts.
I think these are all shorts. I can't. It's not giving me the preview for some reason, but and these are the 3 with the most views in the last couple of weeks as well.
Shorts would have that thumbnail where it's vertical and then it tries to expand the image behind it.
Oh yeah, that is true. All right, you've got me intrigued now. So maybe. Oh no, it's not. I don't think it is. That is not a short.
Okay. So yeah, custom thumbnails, very important, and I think thumbnails are going to be your biggest thing, because I wouldn't necessarily say your titles aren't at least trying to be searchable, but we got some part numbers in there and things like that. So try and educate yourself a little bit on what goes into a good thumbnail. Definitely check out our Discord. A lot of great people in there giving awesome advice on thumbnails and all sorts of stuff.
The Meditation Hub is going to be the next channel that we look at. So are we going to have the usual questions of video length and maybe doing live streams? And I think the answers are yes, kind of. It's interesting. I think they've tried to do a YouTube short for relaxing music with the sea waves. I don't know if shorts is going to be the best place for relaxing content. Mind you, you see on Instagram and TikTok those satisfying ones with playing with goo and that type of thing. Yeah. So maybe there's all the plaudits for you for trying that. Each of these videos then, except for one, are an hour long. But do you think we're saying the same thing here? Maybe, Jeff, that they need to test a live stream or make them 3 hours long, 5 hours long?
Yeah, that's really what it's going to come down to. It's really tough to compete in that particular niche, because especially to try to rank, being that YouTube, they prefer new and live over anything else. And if, the niche has 10 channels live streaming at the same time, it's very difficult to get your video to get up there at all. So I would definitely lean into longer length for sure. If you're going to do stuff for sleeping, meditation, anything like that, definitely try the black screen approach. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, it's the meditation music, relaxation music is a very, very tough niche.
A Meditation Hub, if we are going through this relatively quickly, just go back to, I think, half an hour earlier when we were talking about a very similar channel to yours, and you'll get some more advice there. But we want to try and pick up as many channels as we can in the time remaining. So we're going to go to 109 now. This is another gaming channel. And this is going to be Mika the Gamer Wolf. The channel name sounds familiar, but we shall see when it comes up. Okay, I don't think I've audited this channel before. Oh, we have. Love the fact that you've told us that you're doing 4K Ultra HD videos. I don't think that's necessary, to be honest. Cool. And I'm not actually sure if they are in 4K, looking at the thumbnails and the content. Okay. So you might want to tweak that. Right, Dan.
Yeah, so our general advice here would be, again, and as with a few gaming channels today, niche down to one game. In fact, niche down to one topic, because in your case, we're seeing what look like interesting videos. YouTube in Windows 98. YouTube
yeah, I think you should do a channel just on YouTube on different devices at different times. That'd be cool.
All of these it's an interesting idea, but your channel is going to be really tough. Like 593 people subscribed. Were you playing a game for a while, but then decided to just kind of turn the tables and do vlogs and do things like that? A lot of updates about a broken hand.
I was going to say, you're also a broken hand niche channel, because people were really interested in the hand that was broken.
Definitely. I mean, all of these things, it's not, I'm trying not to criticize the fact that you're doing these things, because you're doing a lot of interesting stuff, but I would say that there's a few different games here and I would have definitely at least tried to stick in the same category, because I don't think Hello Neighbor and Minecraft are that closely related. That's just something that jumps out at me. Playing Animal Crossing for the first time didn't do super well on your channel, and you weren't playing anything really that similar to Animal Crossing leading up to that. So it's just, general strategies here.
Is this right, Dan? Am I seeing this? Is there a Zelda adventure in Minecraft?
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff like that.
So you know my my views on 3D
are you
Zelda
be downloading
games.
This? Is that something you're going to go grab after?
Well, you know my opinion of 3D Zelda games, and now they're making a 3D Zelda game in another game. That's just
2011, so it's
the end. That's the end for me.
old.
Right, what am I doing? I'm moving on to the next channel then, and yes, it's going to be a non-gaming channel this time.
You got really rattled by Zelda.
It's just, I just feel as if I'm just disappointed by the series since A Link to the Past, which was 30 years ago. Right. It's just never been the same. Never been the same. Folks, are you a Team 2D Zelda or Team 3D Zelda? Don't answer that. That's probably
I really like the Ocarina of Time, man.
You see, that's the one that ruined everything, Jeff.
Oh no.
I knew I was going to trigger him with the Ocarina.
Right, Rudra Chohan. Well, hang on.
Did you do the right form?
You've done the wrong form.
Uh-oh.
You've done the wrong. That triggers me as well.
I don't know if you like that less than Zelda.
So hang on. So like the summary here. if you answer yes, you're not supposed to complete the form. You're supposed to fill out the other form. We're just wasting time on me being triggered now. Right, 73. That's the next channel we're going to pick. And yeah, I'm sorry, we're not auditing channels if you put them in the wrong form. Right, here we go. So this channel, hopefully...
Same advice, though.
Yeah, that's my advice. Vitality. This channel is about to crack 300 subscribers. From the thumbnail, it looks like you're like both a scientist and somebody who works out. But maybe it's like nutrition, like the science behind, maybe. Anyway, let's admire your thumbnails.
I love that banner. That's super cool.
I like the thumbnails as well in terms of... you're trying to show the motion of the action in the thumbnails, which we encourage, certainly in something where there's going to be movement, and so I like that as well. Channel with 300 subscribers, you're already getting hundreds of views. This is a channel that I think is going to potentially blow up over the next 12 months. I'm really encouraged by this.
Yeah, I like the consistency of thumbnail. I would extend that. I mean, I like the banner as well, but I would extend this overall theme with the red blue, that sort of thing, maybe into the name, or actually give, because he's already got his name as the name, so you might as well put the actual value or what he's bringing in the actual banner itself, the value proposition.
Yeah. So maybe turning that into some sort of interesting value proposition there, Jeff, like toning your body the scientific way or something like that. I know that's a really bad value proposition, and I'm terrible at doing this with like 10 seconds of thought, but turning that into words I think is going to be really helpful for you as well.
For sure.
But yeah, it's all really positive stuff. I mean, I might be sorting by most popular here to see if there's a particular type of thing that you're like, is it, I mean, the top 2 videos are about push-ups, so that might be a foundation where you can maybe do, like every 10 videos or every 5 videos is a new push-up variation, which, because those are just the most popular ones right now. But the fact that you haven't had a breakout video yet, like the highest viewed video is 500 views, and like the lowest viewed video is what? It's done this again where it keeps chopping off the videos. Why is it doing that? That's really frustrating. Dan, say something while I try and fix this channel.
I think a good push-up variation would be like, because I think I'd run out of ideas, but put a cat on your back and then do some push-ups. Or
Put a cat on your back.
Get really creative with that. But
that really sounds like 2 hours in audit advice, Dan.
It is. It absolutely is.
I think what I was trying to say was that there's not much variation in the view counts. Like you don't have any stinkers, so to speak. Like every video has over 100 views. For a channel with 300 subscribers, that is phenomenal. So I would say continue to do the content must obviously be very good. The thumbnails are fantastic. I mean, the only thing that we're really picking out here is maybe getting a good value proposition for the channel banner, and maybe you already do that in your videos. But awesome stuff here. Well done. And I think this is probably the channel to end on. We're going to end on a high here with Vitality, with a fantastic channel there. So that was your channel audits for this week's, folks. Again, apologies if we weren't able to cover your channel this week, but we've gone through a big range of topics here, and undoubtedly there's been some advice which will have applied to your channel this week. We want to say goodbye this week by asking you, what is your favorite television program? Tell us that through your channel name, and that's how we're going to do the shout outs to end this session. Jeff, it has been an honor and a privilege having you on this week. Thank you very much, and we hope to have you on again soon, whether it be the podcast or the channel audits. I'm going to start with you, Jeff, if you want to do some shout outs of some people who have been telling us what their favorite TV shows are.
Let's see. I'm waiting for it to load up here. So we got SS Gaming 102 with Breaking Bad.
Good choice. Good choice.
Pay Me in Pancakes with Blue's Clues. I like your style. And then we've got Ace Jake with Dragon Ball Super.
All right, Dan.
I'm gonna be a pain and do two self-promo-y things first, because
go on then.
There's a couple things we missed. For one, you and I, Rob, are playing a new game tomorrow on Twitch.
I need to buy it.
Yeah, I do too.
It's now out, isn't it?
It just came out, I think, today. Maybe it's coming out tonight, but it's called Spelunky 2. It is a game where you dive into a cave. We're both going to co-op it tomorrow, and all kinds of nonsense happens. It's one of these kind of roguelike, procedural-generated, story-generated kind of games. It's going to really, really upset us, I think. It's going to be a lot of fun. So twitch.tv/vidIQ official. You can find the link over in our YouTube banner. And then the second bit of self-promo-y advice is our Discord. vidIQ.com/Discord, or again, the link I think is in our banner, or the description. It's easy to find. A bunch of YouTuber creators in there, just like you, and our community manager did an awesome job revamping the whole Discord. So when you get in there, read the rules, and then go and introduce yourself. You can share your channel in there, tell everyone what it's about, and then give yourself a rank. Are you a gaming channel? Are you a fitness channel? Are you an art channel? You can tell us, and then you have your very own category, and you can find other people like you who make the type of content that you do, and it's just awesome. So huge shout out to Better Dan for redoing the Discord. He did an awesome job. Okay.
Thanks, Better Dan.
But I'll try and say goodbye to a couple of people here. Stranger Things is a fantastic show, and Pickle-ish, I think. Yeah, Pickle-ish chose that.
Sorry to interrupt here. Yes. I don't think you can tell it can be your favorite TV show until it's finished. Because I would have said Game of Thrones up until about season 6, and then it went, meh.
I liked Game of Thrones. Yes, the ending was like subpar, but it doesn't take away my enjoyment from the rest.
Don't get me wrong. I think the first 5 seasons were the best television ever, but then it just didn't hit the landing, and that's why.
Yeah, they wanted to move on with their next project, and it was very disappointing. They did. I think the ending could have been much better, but I still would go back eventually and rewatch it, I think. Yeah. But that's just me. Maybe I'm an outlier. The In-Betweener says Ken's 2806. Charlie's Gaming says Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm like 2 seasons behind on that now. I really got to catch up on that. And Dreamy FN is asking if they were audited, and you were not.
Is that a TV series? Were you audited?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up. Was I audited? It might be a
we're into season 24 now.
Yes. Thank you all for being here.
All right, I'm going to say goodbye to the following. Charlie's Gaming, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Gerrit Reviews, A Big Bang Theory, Quiz Mojo, Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. Very niche, that one, but you can choose whatever you like. Creative Talks with Supersize versus Skinny, and I don't know, is that don't know. Alex L was trying to tell me something, but I think he posted too many times, so we put him in timeout. Taylor Tadpoles, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 10 cc's of gaming with the Good Doctor, and also I think here is the right answer. TVT Epic Gaming said the vidIQ live stream is his favorite TV show, and we agree. And you've all got the wrong answers because it is Better Call Saul. Although I'm kind of breaking my own rules here because they haven't finished that yet. But if they stick the landing on that, Oh, what a
They
show.
will. They did with Breaking Bad, and Better Call Saul is
Yeah.
just headed for that. It's going to be awesome.
I agree. We could probably talk about TV series for the next hour, but we're not. But it like kind of gives me the idea of maybe we should do a live stream where it's like vidIQ doesn't talk about YouTube. I mean, I wonder how many people would actually... join that live stream? Yeah, let us know. Send us a comment. Would you like to just talk about something that isn't YouTube? Because to be honest, after 2 hours of auditing, I certainly do. All right then, folks, it's been an honor and a privilege. And time is the most valuable currency on YouTube, and you just spent 2 hours with us. You've spent an extra 10 minutes with us talking about TV shows. I hope you found all of that valuable. Make sure you spend your time valuably with your audience. Dan, you are on screen, so you need to wave awkwardly while I press the buttons that mean we go to the outro. See you all next week, everyone. Bye. I just wanted to say as a final thank you to Nunchuck Swag, who donated £1 to the COVID Solidarity Response Fund, along with Epic TV Gamer, TVT Gamer, who donated $60. Thank you to you also. And now I am going to officially end the stream. See you all next week, folks.